Lesson 2-3 Practice. Congruent Triangles Part 1. Question 1. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDF. So Kieran knows that there is a sequence of rigid motions that takes ABC to EDF. Select true statements after transformations. Angle A coincides with angle F. Well, we can see from the congruent statement, angle A coincides with angle E. So I would translate A to E. Then it says angle B coincides with angle D. When I rotate about center E, B prime will coincide with D. Segment AC coincides with F. AC is the long side. AC is the long side, and you can see F is the long side. BC coincides with D. BC is the second one, and ED is the smallest one. AB coincides with ED. AB turns into ED. Question 2. A rotation by angle ACE using point C as the center takes triangle CBA onto triangle CDE. Why does the image of ray CA line up with ray CE? The image of ray CA and CE coincide after rotating because rotate center C by angle ACE. The image of ray CA and CE coincide after rotating because we defined that way. So that was CA, and then you can see it turned into CE. We defined our rotation that way. Why does the image of A coincide with E? Transformations preserve distance. So we rotated it, and we rotated it about center C on angle ACE. So that's A became on top of E. Transformations preserve distance, so the image of point A and point E are the same distance from C, and they have to coincide. Complete the explanation to prove CBA is congruent to triangle CDE. The rotation would make the image of B, so B goes on to D, coincide with D, so there is a rigid transformation that takes CB, a rigid motion that takes CBA to CDE. Question 3. The triangles are congruent. Which sequence of rigid motions will take triangle XYZ onto triangle BCA? Translate XYZ using direct line segment YC. Translate from Y to C. Rotate about center C from X prime to B. Rotate X prime, Y prime, Z prime using C as the inner center so that X prime coincides with B. That is correct. Reflect X, Y, Z. We're going to reflect it over BC. Reflect it over CB. Yeah. Question 4. Triangle HEF is the image of triangle FGH after a 180-degree rotation around point K. All right, 180-degree rotation around point K. All right, so you can see this angle EHF became GFH, right? It went upside down. Triangle HGF is congruent to FEH. Yes. Triangle GFH is congruent to EHF, not EFH. Angle KHE is the same as angle KFG, not KHG. Angle GHK, that's going to be the same as EFK. That is correct. H is congruent to GH. No, it's congruent to GF. HG is congruent to FE. Yeah. And FH is congruent to HF. Oh, if the same segment is on two different triangles, we can differentiate them by the letters. Line SD is a line of symmetry for figure ASMHZDPX. Tyler's teacher has asked for a congruent statement for the pentagons. Which congruent statement should Tyler's make? Reflect this over segment SD. Let's see, AX and MZ are corresponding. No, AX and MH. DP and HZ. DP and HZ do not correspond. DP and DZ correspond. DS and DZ. DS corresponds to itself. And AS and MS. AS, when reflected, is MS, yes. So Tyler says that ASDPX is congruent to MSDZH because AS and MS are corresponding. You can see AS and MS are the first two letters of both, which shows they correspond. Question 6. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Select the statements that are a result of corresponding parts of congruent triangles being congruent. Segment C is congruent to EF. Well, EF is the longest side and AC is not. AC is the last letters, or the first and the last, and EF is the last two. BC is congruent to EF. That's true. BC last two letters, EF last two letters. BC is the longest side, EF is the longest side. Angle BAC is congruent to angle EDF. BAC is congruent to EDF. That is true. BAEC, EDF. BCA is an acute angle. EDF is not. It is not acute. Angle CBA is congruent to DEF. CBA is congruent. CBA is congruent to FED. FED. Question 7. When triangle ABC is reflected across line AB, the image is triangle ABD. Why is angle ACD congruent to angle ADB? ACD is angle C and ADB is angle D, and they are corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Corresponding parts of congruent figures are congruent. Question 8. Drag the correct angle measures to the appropriate bends. Line DE is parallel to line BC. So we're going to use alternate interior angles to show that angle EAC, that is the acute angle in this triangle, that's congruent to angle C because they are alternate interior angles. They're on the inside of the parallel lines and on the alternate side of this line. So EAC is congruent to angle C. Angle DAB, that forms an alternate interior angle with angle B. So they are on the inside of the parallel lines and on alternate sides of this line. So DAB is congruent to angle B. I made a mistake, and I'm definitely not going to record a new video. I did not mark choice E correct, as it was also correct. I did say the correct thing. I said it was congruent to angle FED, but angle FED is the same as angle DEF. Angle FED is the same as angle DEF.